Hello everyone, Gallifrey Forever 97 here, and welcome to today's video. I'm joined by Alex.
Hello.
From the Timeless podcast.
Hello.
I've been on quite a few times now.
I can't input into a numeric value how many times you've been on it. It must be like over 10.
Must be a lot,
we just like getting, we just like having fun, don't we?
Exactly what it's all about. Today's video, I thought I'd run through all the different various news we've got from the new Russell Davies era of the show. So we've got Ncuti Gatwa, David Tennant and Donna, and then Yasmin.
Yep.
I can't remember her last name, but yeah. So
great research.
Very research.
I think it's like, is it Finley?
Oh, Yasmin Finley.
Is it that right?
Possibly, yeah.
If we're getting that wrong, apologies.
Thing is, I'm recording on my phone, so I can't look at the article.
And unfortunately, my phone is not in the room.
No, it's not it. So this is a very unprofessional video.
Which kind of sums up. Welcome to this feels like Thomas podcast.
Well, it's that spontaneity, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It's all good. It's been a few mental weeks for Doctor Who. Lots of change. Obviously, we heard about Russell, 6 months ago now, maybe? It was like September.
Yeah, at the end of last year, which was just like, what? It's just unprecedented, isn't it?
Because when that happened, all those fake Doctor Who accounts, it felt like that.
That's what I thought it was when I first saw it. I was like, haha, but no.
And it was like an actual thing. I'll be honest, I was drunk at the time. And people were texting me, they're like, is Russell back? Is this legit? Because obviously in our group, we all did, but like people from outside of our Doctor Who group were texting me asking if it was legit. I was like, what on earth are you on about? And I looked at it, I was like, I'm clearly too drunk right now. I'm reading stuff that
I'm now hallucinating.
Ain't real. Obviously Russell's back. Bad Wolf Studios as well, different.
That's good partnership, yeah.
I have faith. Russell's brilliant. He's one of those writers that you can give him any keys to anything and he can give you a good story.
Yeah.
Obviously, I love the fact that obviously it's been a while since he was on the show, so we're going to get a different style, hopefully. Hopefully more episodes. Hopefully.
Hopefully. Yeah, please give us more episodes. I don't think it'd be like 13, but maybe if it was like 10 episodes, then that'd be fine.
Give us 28.
Just give us we're doing the Clad series. Like you said, he's obviously done like Years and Years, It's a Sin, so he's kind of grew as a writer. When he was announced, I think a lot of people assumed like he'd be doing the same thing, but I don't think he'd come back and do rehash.
I mean, you say that.
We could, we look back in the views in this video and like, you were right. But I don't know.
You look at the news that's been announced already.
He's going to start off racing.
Obviously, I'm taking the mick a little bit. But no, I think overall it's a positive. For those of you who don't know, I'm a fan of the current era, as are you. But there are people that aren't. And I think Russell was the right choice to kind of bring the trust back. And hopefully, we've already seen in Doctor Who magazine, I think they mentioned they're going to get more access. Hopefully that means more figures will be released. I hope to get Doctor Who as a brand back out there. That's
been a problem with distribution stuff, is that they get promo images quite in advance, but hearing from magazine people and stuff, apparently it's been they would not give it, and they need months and months to do it.
Yeah, of course.
So fingers crossed, hopefully the figure resurgence.
Because if they don't do that, then the figures will come out 4 or 5 months after the episode.
10th Doctor and Donna, they've already done stuff, so they can just do a lot of repaints and...
Yeah, exactly.
That's all good.
It's kind of fun, because we've spoken about this on my YouTube channel, Tales Podcast, which I before. I was quite apprehensive when that was announced, mainly because, if you guys don't know, I started watching Doctor Who in 2013. I didn't watch it as a young child, as some people did. So Matt Smith was my first Doctor, so when everyone was like, it's 2008, brought back to life again, I can't wait. I was sat there I really like 10th Doctor and Donna, but I listened to Big Finish, so they're not really disappeared. I just sat there and was like, yeah, it's cool, but I didn't get the hype. I'm excited for it, right? I think they're going to do a great job. Catherine Tate and David Tennant, of course, brilliant.
There's also been, obviously there's been filming stuff and leaks.
Spoilers!
If you know, there's been pictures of stuff, people they haven't announced yet, and the director, confirmed Chitale, we can say that.
Yeah, Rachel.
She's confirmed to us. Initially she was like, no, and then she's like, yeah.
The good thing about Rachel is that you look at her episodes and they're brilliant. I think the issue with the Chibnall era, and I respect the balls on him to go, do you know what, I'm going to get new writers, new directors, everything, but it just felt too different. And the good thing about the eras, even with the Moffat eras, you started some writers come across, so you still had people like Toby Whithouse write episodes and things like that. So, and directors would move across as well sometimes. Yeah. It wouldn't feel too different, whereas in the Chibnall era, you got new writers, there's no returning writers apart from himself, who's done Doctor Who before, really. To my knowledge.
It was quite a whiplash, to say with Series 11, obviously it was purposely designed to be a fresh thing, but I think it just felt so alien, I get it was just, there was nothing
Yeah, there was nothing tangible.
Yeah,
to, like,
and then
Doctor Who.
and then with series 12, they went a bit too far. It was like, oh, we'll make up for it. Everything. What do you think about Shooty Gatwa?
Shooty Gatwa, I'm excited. I'm very excited. I've said this again a lot, that you can fan cast the Doctor you want, but I never want it to be who I fan cast.
No.
Because the best thing about the Doctor is it's a new actor that you don't really know much about. Obviously, Jodie Whittaker was in films like Attack the Block, and she did some indie stuff. She did Broadchurch, but she wasn't really a household name.
Peter Capaldi and Jodie Whittaker, they were fairly established, but this is the first one since Matt Smith. Well, I guess to be honest, like
they're established without being leading characters.
No.
So, Malcolm
Tucker,
I suppose, for Capaldi, but Capaldi obviously had much more years of acting experience, no offence to him, but of course he's much older than the two. So, yeah, I'm excited for Gatwa. I think people dismissing him already is ridiculous, because he's a great actor. If you've seen Sex Education, he can do the funny, he can do the serious.
Yeah.
He's brilliant. I think it's the perfect...
If you're of the age, watch it, but...
Yeah, no, if you're a kid, do not watch Sex Education.
I think he's in Whole History, so watch that if you can't watch Sex Education. And the new Barbie film.
He's in the new Barbie film, yeah. Margot
Robbie's
in it as well. Ryan Gosling.
Wow.
He's in with the stars. But I'm really excited. I think it's one of those actors where you go, I wouldn't have thought about it, but when you'd say, I'd be like, ooh, yeah.
When he was first announced, I was like, cool. But it was like, right, what has he done? But then it's like, you don't want to go in with a prejudged thing. But what I was doing in Education, like, he delivers on every beat an actor should, like, yeah. So it's exciting. The possibilities are
exciting. For me, right, the best thing about the actor playing the Doctor, is their personality outside the show. So that's why I love a lot of our modern Doctors, because they're all brilliant outside the show. Like, Jodie Whittaker is definitive article of that. She is fabulous. We've met her. She was lovely to everyone.
Yes,
she is. She brightens so bright, and she is the warmest person ever. Every person she met thousands of people that day. She didn't lack energy once. She was lovely to everyone.
No.
And like same with Capaldi, he embraced the show. Tennant, Smith, Eccleston. But I reckon Shooty already, I can tell, is just going to embrace it. He's going to love being the character on and off screen.
Yeah.
And that's what you need, because the Doctor isn't just a character in a TV show. It's a hero to kids. It's like when you see Tom Holland and Spider-Man go to hospitals and stuff as Spider-Man. Like, that's what the Doctor is. It's a character that transcends the show, and it's a person that, you know, kids and stuff can meet in real life. I think it's brilliant, but you need the right person to handle that.
It's not just like an acting job where it's like, oh, I've been the Doctor, done. Like you said, you have to be the Doctor outside of in everyday life as well. If you approach a kid or something, it's like to them that's real. So and he's got the energy. I think he's got the energy.
In spades.
Hearing him interview at the BAFTAs, hearing him talk about the show and that was just like, yeah, you get it.
Exactly. And I think, you know, it's exciting, and Russell announcing it at the BAFTAs was a great choice. People saying that, it's taking no attention off Jodie. Look, we need to look forward to the future. And I'm going to be sad when Jodie goes. You know, Jodie's one of my favourite Doctors. I'm one of those people that is a big fan of this era. I'm going to be sad when she goes. But you need to keep the hype going for the Wheels of the Future. It's like when Marvel, right? I assume most people are Marvel fans. They announce the next phase during the current phase, really. You have to keep looking to the future. You have to keep people interested in what's coming soon. Because if it goes dead afterwards, you're like, well, now we're just in the dark. So I think it's a good thing. I think Russell has already done brilliant things with the marketing already.
The heart things and the plus.
Mate, it's so good.
I think someone said about like, what's your plans for it? And then he was like, well, Jodie's got a centenary special to go, which I think he confirmed it's in October and 90 minutes.
And it's 90 minutes long.
Yeah. So he respects it, but I think like the David Tennant and Catherine Tate announcement.
It was unavoidable.
Yeah.
Because they were
that kind of stuff is like, because you're going to be spotted anyway, so you need to get ahead of that.
I will say, obviously, I'm very positive about it, and I think it's a good thing. But I don't want it just to be the 6-year special be Tennant and Tate.
You want Matt?
I
want Capaldi.
But I don't think it should be one Doctor. It should be a celebration of the whole show, not just one person. So if they can get some of them back, do it. I think.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I really hope Jodie has an element in there as well, because I genuinely, it sucks that her last episode is right before the anniversary special. So I hope she gets at least a little bit in there.
That was the thing when it was announced that Howard Chibnall were leaving on the kind of cusp of the 60th, and I was thinking, how are they
It
going to
was in jeopardy, wasn't it? If there was going to be anything or.
Yeah, but we don't know like the official plans. Is like you said, is it going to be 10th Doctor and Donna centric? Will they use that as an anchor to then explore?
Oh, there's
other
clearly
Doctors,
more. Like Russell knows what he's doing. We can't really go into what's been the filming picture and stuff, and I won't go into that.
It's difficult to talk about Yasmin's casting.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of revealing stuff from that.
He did hint it in the Instagram post, didn't he?
So she's the character's name is Rose.
Yeah.
And she may or may not
be an alternate Rose. That's what you said, didn't he? He was like, Rose, who is she?
Or a certain...
Is she the Rose that we know? Who is she? Is she one of the universe? Or a daughter of a certain character?
Yeah.
It could be anyway. But Yasmin Finley is one of those actors that I haven't seen anything of her in.
No, I've been meaning to watch
Heartstopper,
yeah. So I need to get around to watching that. So
yeah, it's like Netflix thing has passed me by. Like, I've not watched Stranger Things.
No.
I've not watched Kenobi yet. I've not watched
missing out.
I'll be getting excited because I like the unknown. It doesn't bother me. Like, it would baffle me if they announced somebody like, I don't know why, but so they announced Idris Elba as the Doctor or something. I'd be like, why are we doing this? The best thing about Doctor Who is when you don't know and you get a new
I think
actor.
he'd make a very good master. Idris.
Oh, Idris Elba would make anything good. He's Idris Elba. The beauty of Doctor Who is that it's a platform for actors to, whether we like it or not, it is a platform for actors to do a few years in television on a household show, to then perhaps if they want to go into cinema. Unfortunately, the name's Matt Smith, it didn't go too well. But I love Matt Smith. I do.
Every Marvel, Terminator, Star Wars, it's all just gone.
I love Matt Smith, you
That's
know,
it.
and I want him to do well. He was in last night in Soho, which was a good film.
That was great.
It was a really good film.
So hopefully, you can have a resurgence of this new Game of Thrones show.
When he comes back to Doctor Who. Fingers crossed.
Be interested to see what's going to happen with Yasmin. Like, obviously, she's going to be in with the David Tennant and Donna stuff.
But will she continue on?
But will she continue on? And how is it going to be going from like Jodie regenerating to Tennant, and will Tennant regenerate back into the
I really hope it's not de-regeneration, because I think then you're dealing with a lot of can of worms sort of thing. I wouldn't mind if, for example, Jodie just generates into Tennant again. And it's just like, oh, we established this with the curator, it can happen, we've done it. Because I think if you're into de-regeneration, then there's a lot of science you have to explain in the episode, which immediately is going to take people out. Like, we'll be interested because we're Doctor Who nerds.
But it's like...
But I think if you just go, it's him, but like, also, how does Donna fit strings? Obviously, as we know in the current format, if she finds out about the Doctor...
Bye, Donna!
Hopefully we get some other cast back as well. Yeah. There are some people I want them to avoid if they can. Like, don't bring Johnson back. It's been done. Bring back Michelle Gomez, please. If you're into the Master...
What about if you brought Johnson back and it was with Michelle and Sasha?
I hate it.
Why?
Because it's three. You don't need three of the same
Three
character.
Doctors against three Masters, that'd be very
Who
cool.
would you pick?
Well, it'd be like Tennant, Matt and Capaldi. Or Jodie. But I don't
Get
know
McGann in there. Get McGann in there.
The Russell thing, when he posted about Donna coming back, and he was like, is it going to be a multiverse? Or
I really hope it's not.
I think it's something unique.
I have an issue with multiverse storytelling, right? And I think it's the worry I have with the Marvel stuff now, like it with Loki, right? Is that I don't like it when you go, oh, it's the same character but it's slightly different, but because you like the original version of the character, you like this one. I think that's really lazy, so I hope this isn't like I really hope it's not Meta Crisis Doctor roaming around with that version of Donna, because you have to explain Rose's ad. Yeah. Also, wasn't he meant to age?
When Rose ages, he ages.
Yeah, and it just kind of feels like a cheap way to celebrate the 60th with it being in a different universe because it's a similar actor. Go as simple with it as possible, just have Jodie regenerate into Tennant and be the 15th.
That's going to be like a massive
the 14th Doctor. And you could literally have it have the same characteristics. Where it doesn't fit in is the Donna thing, and that's going to be interesting. All I hope is that they don't ruin the end of Series 4.
I think when Rose came back in the 50th, that's what people were worried about, because she was a completely different character. But this is very much like, this is Donna.
Yeah, this is Donna and the Doctor back again.
The only reason I say multiverse is obviously Chibnall's kind of set that up.
I don't know, I'm excited for what the future holds. Russell T Davies just gets it. I think he's been really good with, not giving too much away and letting Jodie have her time and letting Chris have his time. Because at the end of the day, whatever your opinions are on them, they deserve to actually be the centre of attention for the next few months when we get to this special. I'm excited for it, it's 90 minutes, and it's clear that actually the one good thing about Chibnall Era, whether we like it or not for marketing purposes, is that there's a lot of secrets that we just don't know.
Sometimes it's been a bit OTT.
Yeah, with the detriment. It's the detriment to the brand because you can't get figures and marketing and trailers, and that's what you need to do to get people invested.
But like I said, what we've seen so far, it seems jam-packed with returning characters.
Which worries me a little bit as well.
It feels like he's doing his own version of the 60th.
Yeah. And then we
but
can
not
get
the 60th. He's like, I'd like to do a 60th, but I don't have the pressure of doing it on the 60th,
like-
so I'll do my...
He's like, here's the Daleks, here's Sacha Dhawan, here's Ashad, here's Tegan and Ace.
Yeah,
It's like,
there you go.
it's like, what?
It's kind of like the cliche thing of what you'd want from a special, but...
What's one Chibnall era character you want to come back?
I would have said Shad.
I'm going to go with Salad Man. I know he died, but bring him back. If a Shad can come back, so could my salad bloke.
Eat my salad. Halloween.
Well, I was shocked when that bloke came back in Even the Darling.
That was the most pointless cameo. I'm worried because it could be overstuffed, and we've seen the Chibnall era, even with longer episodes.
It does worry
Sometimes
me.
I do feel for him, and I have read that DWM interview where he essentially goes, I have had a lot of rubbish thrown my way. A lot, very harsh as well. Like, you can be dismissive of the series, and you can, but never take it personal. And I think this is him trying to get it back in the good books of the Who fans, so I really don't think he needs to do. And I think there is a lot of overreaction within the fandom of how bad this era has been.
It's not as bad as people have said it is. It's fine. It's not like my favourite era,
No,
but it's
there has been worse series.
Yeah.
Some of his.
But hearing stuff like about the Battle Around Score of Coast being on your first draft thing, it's like, that makes a lot of sense.
It's very poor in terms of organisation. But yeah, I'm excited for the future holds Doctor Who. Is really I don't really know what's going on. I'm excited.
There's so much intrigue, It's like,
yeah, which
how's
is
it gonna
good.
play
It's
out?
nice to be like, oh, when is this stuff coming out? Is it 3 specials in the 60th? Is it just one big 60th? What is it? Like, what is going on?
I know I said it on your podcast, but I think my idea one would be to have like specials with the Doctors and have one big special, like a mini series, leading up to them all coming together.
Can we have the Five-ish Doctors reboot sequel though?
Yeah.
Except you can't have John Barrow in it this time. You got
No. Oh no.
Who would you have instead? Who would you have instead? Matt Lucas.
Alex Kingston. Matt Lucas.
Matt Lucas popping up.
Yeah.
In Bake Off, like they go to Bake Off instead. It's a Doctor Who special Bake Off. I'd watch that to be fair.
That was brilliant.
Sylve, Colin.
I'd love them to do something like they did for like an Adventure Space and Time.
Oh, that'd be great. What would you do though? I suppose, is it too soon to do the reboot of Who?
There's a couple. I actually see like, I guess, Troughton, J&T, after reading that book, I'm like, that could be a very, very, very good.
It could also be a very...
Risky,
because you're going to get people going, how legitimate is this and what angle is it
Yeah.
coming from? I think the biopic, if they're going to do one, should be about the new series. I think it makes no sense.
Get
Because
Russell to beat Russell.
Because I think as well though, you want to have a subject that doesn't just intrigue the Who fans, but intrigues the wider audience. I think that was what was so wonderful about Adventure Space and Time, is that it didn't just capture Who fans. It was such a brilliant, kind of film documentary that it even brought people invested, and it was such a wonderful story to be told. Like our good friend John says on the podcast, the risk of bringing Who back in 2005. Let's hear about that. I want to see what it's like. It's going to be interesting. Who would you get to play Eccleston? Because he wouldn't do it.
Difficult. Yeah.
But yeah, that's going to be my bold prediction though, is that Eccleston's going to come back.
He said about he wants an apology from the BBC because obviously I think they blacklisted him as an actor. Like when,
Has he not done anything for them since?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, he was in that kids show with Christmas or something, wasn't it? Robin. I don't know.
I don't know.
But yeah, he has done other stuff. So if they can bury the hatchet and it is Russell, maybe. But there again, he's happy to do a big finish. So
he's like, I'm making it. I'm doing it for the money.
Yeah, he's on account. I'm honest.
He's like, I'm getting paid.
Yeah.
Which is fair enough. Job's a job, innit, at the end of the day. But look, I want him to come back if he wants to come back. I don't want him to be like paid and he just does it for the sake of it.
David, Matt, and Capaldi,
I think Capaldi's a fibber. I think when he's like, I don't want to do Mighty Doctor, I think he's taking the mick. Because I think if you don't give people the expectation of it, and then you do it, it's like, my dream team would be getting Matt, Karen, and Arthur back.
That'd be amazing.
It'd be amazing.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. But look, I think to wrap this up is that the future of Doctor Who is bright. I think it's exciting. We don't really know what's going on whilst knowing a lot. We know enough to keep ourselves excited, but also not to get too overexcited and be like, oh my god, we know everything.
We also see that there is a lot, many more surprises. So we're going to have a double dose of like, obviously the end of the Chibnall era. That's exciting in itself, but then going forward, it's good to have that longevity for Doctor Who being like, yeah, we got a new Doctor on the horizon, returning 60th stuff. Being a Doctor Who fan has never been more exciting as we had in a while, to be honest.
Oh, mate,
it's mental.
It's so fun to be like, oh god, this has dropped.
Well, thank you. I hope you enjoyed our discussion. Thanks, Alex, for joining me
Nice.
today. You go check out the Timeless podcast.
Yeah, you'll see people like Reese, and if you know Adam and other people like that, they'll appear on
John, Beef, Owen.
Everyone's there. A lot of people that have even appeared on time, like Adam, obviously, he's been on a few times.
Yeah.
He's on the podcast a lot as well. So yeah, check it out. We talk about things like Doctor Who, but we also talk about like Star Wars, Marvel, and stuff like that. So there's a bunch of stuff we talk about.
Link in the description. Go watch.
Yes, thank you very much.
You've just done your 100th.
You were on it. We
I was on
ranked
it.
every
Yeah.
episode of Doctor
Every
Who.
single episode.
Every single one. Don't worry, it's in 2 parts. If you don't watch the whole thing,
Yeah.
there's 2 parts of it.
There's interval.
There's interval, yeah. So because it is like 5 hours long. But yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. Yeah, no, thank you for letting me on here, and
No, thank you for
listening to us waffle.
There we go. So thank you everyone for watching. Up until next time. Bye bye.